My name is Kathy Crossteck. I coordinate the NJ Stars program. I always start on the main NJ Stars webpage. A lot of people don't look on the website. I have answers to most people's questions on the website. I have FAQs, I have how to apply, I have first steps, I have contact information, I have all kinds of things. I'm going to show you where everything is. Please check it before emailing me because I get so much email and so many phone calls from students, high schools, and from parents, and it's really hard to keep up sometimes. And most of them are the same questions. So that's why I put them on the website. So the main page is bergen.edu/njstars. This is the main page. If you look at the top, it tells you that New Jersey Stars pays for 12 to 18 credits. You have to be registered full time, which is 12 credits. But they'll pay up to 18 credits in the fall and spring. They do not pay for summer, winter, or audited courses. And they'll pay for up to 5 semesters. So if you start in the fall, you can go to the fall in 5 semesters out. You would graduate in December though, and a lot of people like to start a new college in January. So I have people who graduate in a year, 3 semesters, whatever it is, but you have 5 paid semesters. Um, it tells you here that 2020 is this is the last year. Fall 2022 is the last year 2020 high school graduates are eligible. You will qualify even if you go to another college or university and decide you want to come to Bergen later. You will still qualify for up to 5 semesters after high school graduation. So if you graduated in 2022, you qualify for STARS up to fall 2024, even if you go to another college. A lot of students don't know that, and I let all the high schools know it. It's on the website, but it's like an insurance policy. If you go somewhere else and you don't like it, it's too expensive, whatever, you can come back to Bergen. You can come to Bergen and use your STAR scholarship. Um, these are the contacts for all the departments. I'm on the top because I certify you as a STAR student. There's the Dr. Reyes. Jennifer Reyes is the Assistant Vice President of Student Affairs. Bursar's office, Tabitha Tucker is the contact. Enrollment, Peter Avita is the dean, and he's also my boss. And Charlemagne is the financial aid person. No one emails Charlemagne. Everybody emails me with every financial aid question there is. But these are the contacts, and they're the ones who are supposed to be answering the questions. But I will answer. It's just sometimes I get a lot, and you just got to give me a day or two sometimes to get back to you. The current students is for current students going forward, how to maintain your scholarship. You'll be signing a scholarship maintenance requirements document after the contract is complete, which gives you basically a lot of the same information, but I have it on the website. Events are events for JSTARS. FAQs, I have all the questions that I get all the time on here. And if you click on one of the questions, it'll bring you down to the answer. And usually it goes a little bit further because of this orange bar. And on some of them, I started recording videos. So at the top, it says, click here to view the video. And you can listen instead of read. And I go into a lot more detail when I talk. First steps. This is for people because I get so many questions when students are in high school. What do they do next? So it tells you that if you were in the top 15% of your class at the end of the junior year of high school, you qualified already. And you could still qualify if you didn't at the end of the junior year. You could still qualify when you graduate. At the end of the junior year, your high school will send a list of all the qualifying students to the state, to HISA. Okay, at which time they put all the lists in New Jersey high schools together, and it takes several months. The deadline is November, and usually they send me the list in February, which is when they also send all the students the letter that you should have received if you were on the list at the end of the junior year. At that point, I take that list and I mail to Bergen County students because I can't send to every county in New Jersey, obviously. So I send Bergen County. I sent about 1,600 postcards on March 4th. And then a couple of weeks later, I sent a letter with 2 documents, the New Jersey Stars fact sheet and the New Jersey Stars application process checklist, which is a checklist for you to know what you should have done before you sign the contract. most of it. A few things at the end are just for your benefit. Um, Students who did not receive correspondence from HISA or me, it could be because you didn't qualify at the end of the junior year, and I only get a list once, junior year. So the senior year students who qualify would have to be told by their high school that they qualified, and then get me proof with a high school transcript. Students could also, it could also be because your high school missed the deadline. So there were some high schools that missed the deadline this year that I wrote to them, and I got a list of all the students who qualified, and I sent them a postcard and a letter. But they wouldn't have gotten one from HISA because the high school never sent the list to the state, or they didn't send it on time. So there's some information there about students who aren't on the list, or if you didn't get paperwork. Placement tests are no longer required. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit because it's important. It used to be that you couldn't be an NJ Star student until you took a placement test, and then if you did not require any remedial courses, meaning you didn't pass your placement tests. And you could use your SAT scores. If you had a high enough score, you don't have to take the placement test. But you couldn't be an NJ Star student until you were completely college ready, meaning you didn't need any remedial classes, or if you did, you took them and you're done with them. Now, the New Jersey Council of County Colleges signed a resolution last year saying that students who are in the top 15% of their class are considered college ready already. So they do not have to take tests. But you can still do that if you feel that you're maybe weak in a subject, maybe math isn't your thing like me, and you're worried about taking college level math. You can take the placement test, and if it recommends that you need a remedial class, you can take it now as a STAR student. You couldn't before. However, you need to pay for that yourself. The STARS won't pay for remedial classes, and you must be in 12 full-time college level credits. So if you take a remedial math class and it's 3 credits, say, you'd have to be still in 12 college level credits and pay for the remedial class yourself. But you do not have to take the tests. I waive you as soon as you self-identify to me. First steps, it tells you to self-identify to me, because if you don't, and Maria, I don't think I got yours. I think I got everybody else that's on here. But without a self-identification form, I don't know if you've applied to the college. I don't know where you're from, what year you graduated, and so on. All information I need to know when people ask me questions. And also, when I get the self-identification form, I identify you as a prospective NJ Star student in the college database. And at that point, I waive you from taking any placement tests. I can't do that unless I know you've applied here. Also, I can't waive you if you're not on the list at the end of the junior year until I have proof that you're in the top 15% of your class. And I do have proof for the high schools that didn't send in the lists, because I got those lists, but there are some people that might be missed, or you might not have qualified to the end of your senior year. And then the other thing I do is I put protection on in July. Every July, I put protection on the current students and the prospective students. Current students are protected till November. Prospective students are protected until the day before school starts, which this year is August 31st. Once you sign your NJ Stars contract, which I'll get to all that later, at that point, I extend that protection to November with the current students, because you'll be a STAR student. And that means that nobody can drop your classes until the state pays us, and please listen, because this is one of the questions I get all the time. The state doesn't pay us till near the end of the semester. And I'll explain more of that in a little while. This tells you to please visit the How to Apply page to begin the process. So I'm going to go there, How to Apply. So on the How to Apply page, I have 4 tips at the top that I hope everybody reads, 4 or 5. And this basically says, oh, by the way, I did forget one thing. The date on the letter from HISA, it says that you need to go on that HISA website to confirm your information that the high school sent them by May. I don't know, remember the date of the letter that the students got. It said by May, maybe 7th or something. Just if you miss that step, you still qualify for NJ Stars. I get that question all the time too. You just have to go through this process with me, and you'll still be I could still certify you as an NJ Star student. The difference is that website, you're going on to confirm your information, that your name is spelled right. A high school could have spelled your name wrong. It happens all the time. Or they could put Kathy instead of Catherine, for instance, or they could have your social security number wrong or missing. And so they ask you to fix that all. You don't have to worry if you didn't fix it there, because when you register on the state portal, the student portal, which is the NJ FAMS website, and I'll get into that. When you register there, you're going to be making sure all your stuff is right there. So it catches up and you'll be a star student. You don't have to worry. But the things on the top of this page are just kind of tips that will delay you if you don't read them. And a lot of people don't read them. So I'm going to go over them. Signing the contract is one of the final steps in the process. Do you know how many people sign the contract when they haven't registered for classes yet, or their financial aid is not review is not complete? Happens all the time. I have to reject the contract, or if they're mostly done, I'll keep it in my system until they finish, and then I'll sign it. The contract deadline is generally the day before the semester begins, and this year it would be August 31st. So everybody keeps calling and asking me if it's too late. No, it's not, as long as you do everything before then. Please don't sign your contract the last week of before school starts, because I get a lot of contracts that week. It takes me a long time to go through all the information to certify students, and it puts me under a lot of pressure. The scholarship maintenance requirements for STAR students. Please do not sign it until you receive an email that your contract was processed. So you're going to receive once you sign your contract, you're going to receive an email from me. It's from me, but I don't know if it has my name on it. It says that your contract was assigned to a counselor, an academic counselor. They will go over it. If they see any problems with your classes or your degree or anything, they'll contact you. Please check your Bergen email, critical. Because I got 2 contracts that the counselor never signed because she emailed them about problems. One of them didn't even register for classes, and they never got back to her, so I had to cancel the contracts. So you'll get an email saying that the counselor has it. Check your email. If they don't find anything wrong, they'll sign the contract. Then it will come to me. At that point, I go through your financial aid. I go through to see everything that I need. If I'm missing anything, I put comments in your contract. Your documents will be in your student portal. And I put comments saying, I still need your final high school transcript, or whatever the case may be. And then I'll sign it. You will then get another email saying, congratulations, your contract is processed, blah, blah, blah. Once that is done, then you can go and sign your scholarship maintenance requirements. And I don't want you to do that, because that is for next year, how to stay in the program. Right now, you need to get into the program. And I want you to concentrate on one thing at a time, because it's a lot of information, which you'll hear today, and I don't want you to get confused. The scholarship maintenance requirements are what you need to do in the coming year. The FAFSA, the financial aid review, cannot begin until your FAFSA is in your student portal. So this is so important, because students tell me that they're finished and their FAFSA is not in, which means it hasn't even started yet. And if it's not in, it could be because your social security is missing from your student portal. Some students don't put it in when they apply to the college, or it could be that you transposed the number and it's wrong. When we import the FAFSA into students' records, we match it to the social security number in your portal. So if it's not there, if it's wrong, your FAFSA can't come into the account. It also can't come in if you didn't put Bergen on your FAFSA. So I get a lot of students who decide at the last minute, they're waiting for the colleges to make a decision, or they're not sure if they want to pay all the fees, the tuition to other colleges. So they wait, and then they decide they're going to come to Bergen, and they didn't put Bergen on the FAFSA. It's not going to come into your student portal. So make sure that if it's not there, check to see if Bergen's on your FAFSA. And if it is, then contact me and I'll check for you. Don't email me a social security number. I'll call you, or you can call me, and I'll read you what it says in the portal. Or if it's missing, you can just give it to me. Otherwise, you have to come in, go to the one-stop center, to the registration window, and bring in your social security card. So I can do it for you. And the last thing is students who are not citizens. If you're an New Jersey Dreamer, you cannot fill out the FAFSA, but you must fill out the New Jersey Alternative Financial Aid application. And then it says, for more information, click here. And then let's get started. So the first thing you have to do is self-identify. No, actually, it's the fact sheet. So let's go there. So I emailed everybody who was on the list at the end of the junior year, the fact sheet for 2022 high school graduates. I think everybody on today is a 22 graduate, so there's nobody else from 21 or 20. So this is a fact sheet, and very quickly it says that um, you have to rank in the top 15% of your class at the end of the junior or senior year. You must be in a rigorous course of high school. You don't have to worry about that. I've never had a problem with that. Uh, you do not have to take college placement tests. STARS does not cover the cost for remedial coursework if you decide you want to take it. All students must be full-time and no later than the 5th semester following high school graduation. So even if it was 5 semesters after you graduate high school, you still can use your STAR scholarship, but you must be full-time by then. If you're full-time and you leave for any reason, you no longer qualify for STARS. Once you start, the New Jersey STARS clock starts ticking and you need to finish the program. You can apply for a leave of absence. There's a medical leave, there's a family emergency leave, and there's a military leave. Those in the military, if you join the military after you sign your New Jersey STARS contract, you're no longer qualified. So you must be in the military when you sign your contract. You must be in a full-time in a degree program. I'll go over that in a little while. At your home county college, you can be an out-of-county student if your college does not have the program that you want to take at Bergen. But you would have to demonstrate that by doing what's called a chargeback process. And I have some information about that on the website, on the application process checklist, and in the FAQs. You must take a minimum of 12 credits each semester. You can take up to 18 credits. Students must meet the residency requirements, and that means you must be a New Jersey resident, you or your parents. Now, if you went to a high school out of state, you would still qualify as long as your parents live in New Jersey. But if your parents move out of New Jersey before you start in college, I just had this happen with a girl. She's moving in next month to Florida. She cannot qualify for STARS because her and her parents will be living out of state. However, if you're in the program and your parents move out of state, once you're in it, then you would be grandfathered and you can stay in the program. You must be a citizen or a legal non-citizen, which basically is everybody now. And you must apply for federal and state financial aid every year. Whether you get any or not, it does not matter. You have to finish the financial aid review process, give them everything they need to finish the process in order to qualify each year. And that goes for when you go to the four-year college too. And the rest of it is kind of deadlines. The FAFSA is due by September 15th, but if you get state aid from HISA, in your first year, then your FAFSA for next year will be due this coming April, not September. So if you get New Jersey TAG, which is the New Jersey Tuition Aid Grant, you will need to get your FAFSA in early. That comes out October 1st every year. So the 2022-2023 FAFSA for this year, next year it's the 23-24 FAFSA will come out on October 1st. Okay, that's basically it. There's some renewal eligibility information on there, and that's what your scholarship maintenance requirements document will go over, and also my current students webpage. Let's see, I need to go off of this. Let me go back to here. I'm going to go back to the how to apply page. So, right now, let me just move this. Oops. Okay. Here we go. So, the next thing is the self-identification form. So I already went over that. On the top of that form, it tells you what I do when I get the form. Everybody asks me about When are they gonna, when am I gonna put the protection on their account? What if they don't see themselves as a star student anywhere? All these questions are answered on the top of that form when you fill that out. That's why it's the first thing you send to me. I put it there so you know. And it tells you here again, I add protection to your account so your classes won't be dropped for non-payment. If you don't see NJ Stars protection in a notification in your student portal, you must let me know, because I do it as a group, but every once in a while, for some reason, a couple of students fall out of the group, and I don't know why, because they're in the group. And if you let me know, I can put it on manually. Let's see. I also waive you from taking placement tests. I went over that already. Now, this is the bulk of the webinar. This is a good part of it. Is this financial aid? I mean, this application process checklist. So, this also starts from the beginning. It tells you have to, complete the self-identification form, apply to the college. To apply, because one person here hasn't applied, let me show you where you go to apply. So you would go to bergen.edu. Why isn't this typing? Hold on 1 second. And I seem to have frozen. Just give me a second. There we go. No, there we don't go. Hold on 1 second. I don't know what this is. Some kind of news, I think. I can't unfreeze this, so. Okay, is everybody still here?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay. And we got the participants list back. There we go. All right, so let me share again. Share screen. Let me know if you can't see anything. Again, I don't know if you can't see. So I'm going to go to, oh, I think now it'll let me use Chrome, which is better. Okay. All right, and we'll go to New Jersey Stars page. We're going to go back to where we were. Sorry about this. Can everybody see?
Yeah, all good.
Good. Okay. So we're going to go to the application process checklist. So, oh, I started saying before that one person has not applied yet. So you would go to the Bergen, the main page. Well, this is the New Jersey Stars page, or you can go to the home page, but it says apply now up here, and you'd fill out that application. And by the way, right next to it to the right is the mybergen.edu. That's your student portal, but I'll get to that later. Okay. So once you've self-identified, you need to be in a degree program. Now, the degrees are Associates of Arts, which is an AA, Associates of Fine Arts, AFA, or Associates of Science, an AS. They are considered transfer programs because they transfer easily into four-year colleges. So if you're in a Associates of Science, uh, I don't know, criminal justice program, you can switch into a criminal justice program at a four-year college. The AAS programs are considered Associates of Applied Science. They're not readily transferable because a lot of colleges might not have those degrees. So, for instance, nursing, dental, veterinary programs, a lot of colleges might not have those four-year degrees. So when you take an AAS, you need to know what your plan is going forward. They're considered career degrees because you could actually start working when you graduate with an AAS degree. But if you're planning on going to a four-year college, you really want to be in an AFA or an AS degree, except for if you want to be in nursing, dental, veterinary. But there are a lot of AAS degrees that are not easy to transfer over. The testing, I went into all of that already. So if you were waived already, you don't have to worry. You can register for your tests. If you want to take the tests, you can, and or you can be waived in another way, but I've already waived you. So by sending in your SAT scores on this page, but most of you should be done. The academic requirements, there are 3 of them: proof of eligibility, residency, and financial aid. And basically, most of this is covered on the fact sheet, but the academic requirements, what the state requires me to get, is not on the fact sheet. So what I need after you graduate from high school is your final official high school transcript sent to me, not to the college, because it'll go to admissions and we get thousands. And I used to go through the piles, but I'm not going to do that anymore. It takes hours. They're not in any order. So have them send it to me at my address, my room number. It's at the top of this form and all the other forms, and it's on the website. It's also on the information from New Jersey high schools page on the web, on the which is right under how to apply. Information for New Jersey high schools. It's at the bottom of that page, all the academic information that I need. So I would need your final transcript sent to me, and it must be signed by either the director of guidance, principal, or vice principal, and list your class rank, class size, and date of graduation, and must have the high school seal affixed. Now, if your high school does not rank, that's okay, because I have a form for that. This is the certification of high school class rank form. All they have to do is click the link. It's on their page on the website. Okay. And put in your name, your date, your name of high school, the day you graduated, and then put in, say you were number 15. When I put 0 in, the form doesn't work, and I don't know why. So I had to say type over the numbers, and it will tell you you're in the top 15%. They would check off whether they're using the junior or senior year numbers, print it, and then they would sign it, date it, and put a seal on it and send it to me with the transcript. All right. Anybody that's from Bergen Tech, Hackensack High School, and Lodi High School, I think I get the most students from those high schools. I work with their guidance secretaries, and they will send me all of them in one envelope, so I don't have to keep asking for different people, and you don't have to worry about asking either. That's not really my job, but I end up doing it when we get close to the end of the summer, because I do need those things for the state in case they came in, and they have done that. They've audited me and asked me for records for like 85 students, and I had to show them all the proof I had. And if I don't have it, we can be penalized. So we don't want that. Let's see. So that's the academic proof. The residency, I already told you. I talked about that. Living in Bergen County. If you don't, it tells you down at the 4th bullet here. If you're an out-of-county resident, what you must do. You must be a U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen, and your parents as well. Financial aid. Now, this is the biggest part of this webinar, because this is the part where everybody gets confused, or they think they're done and they're not. So first of all, every year you must start with your FAFSA. Now, when you do your FAFSA, you should get 2 emails. One from the Office of Student Aid, I believe it is the first one, which will say that your FAFSA was successfully submitted. Then after they've completed it, it takes a day or 2, you'll get another one from the Federal Board of Education that says your FAFSA was successfully processed. That is how you know your FAFSA part is done, not the financial aid review part, just the FAFSA, because people get stuck there because they didn't sign the FAFSA, or their parents didn't sign it, or it's missing something. You won't be finished until you get that second email from the Board of Ed, Federal Board of Ed. The next thing is, once you get that FAFSA complete and it's brought into your student record. Now, you may say you do your FAFSA when it comes out October 1st. Okay, we don't import the FAFSAs until March each year, until our spring students are already in their final, spring classes have opened, because we work on 1 year of academic year at a time. So even if you do your FAFSA early, your FAFSA will not go into your student portal until about March, which is the end of March was when they went in this year. Now you have to have your review completed by the college. Okay, and that's where you look in your student portal and just make sure that everything is done. For the state end, you have to register on the HISA website, which is a different registration than the one you went in with the letter. where they give you a PIN number and everything. And you register on New Jersey FAMS, which is New Jersey Financial Aid Management System. I have a link to that on this application process checklist. I have it on the Bergen Community College on this resource page, which I have a lot of things on this page. The New Jersey Stars documents are at the top. Then we have New Jersey Stars fact sheets and brochure, Stars 2 fact sheets and brochure, helpful links. There's a lot of really helpful links on this page that I really would like you to look at, because I must send people links to these questions all the time. If you look on this resource page, I have a lot of them, most of them here. There's FAFSA links here, and then there's the HISA. The student portal is NJFAMS. That's where you go use, and I'll quickly click on that so you could see that it looks like this. And I'm going to log in later and show you what you should know. Okay, so let me close that. And I need to open this again and open this again and get back to the checklist. Okay, so that's the FAFSA and HISA. Now, both things have to be complete, both financial aid reviews. So the college does your federal financial aid review, which is the FAFSA, and the state does your state-based financial aid review based on the FAFSA as well, but it's a different process, and that determines whether you get state aid versus federal aid. And I'm going to go into this in more detail. And I guess I should do that now. So I'm going to go to the website. I want to open a new page. And I'm going to go to the student portal. Now, oh boy, it's going to want to call me. We have multi-factor authentication now. And it's going to, oh, all right, let me in. Okay, that's probably because I'm already logged in. Once you're logged into your student portal or any of the online forms that you fill out, you'll stay logged in until you log out, so you won't have to keep using your username and password. So financial aid is the one that says financial aid, or you can go right to the self-service main menu, which shows you all of the things that it's gonna sorry, I'm gonna have to do this. What a pain in the neck. Gonna call me. I just have to. Okay, it's done. Doesn't take long, but I have to do this so many times a day. It's ridiculous. So this is self-service, okay? So I'm going to go into financial aid, and this is my financial aid, so it's not going to look exactly like this for you because yours should be a little bit different. But and it's telling me I'm going to go to 22, 23. Every year I do my FAFSA and HISA, so I know if there were any changes so that students will so I can relay any changes to students. I know what they're talking about if they ask me questions. So it's saying that I'm missing documents. Now that may happen to you. With me, if I click on complete the required documents, oh, by the way, first, you should see completed, submit a free application. There should be a check mark. If that's not there, your FAFSA is not in, your process cannot start. And I just saw that today with another student. She emailed me that her FAFSA wasn't there, and I looked, and that's what there was no FAFSA. You won't see the rest of this page. You'll just see that you're missing the FAFSA. At that point, you got to check with me about your social security number, make sure Bergen's on your FAFSA. So I'm going to click on you. This is what you would do if your FAFSA was completed, but it said you were missing documents. And in my case, it says no academic program. That's because I already graduated from Bergen. I don't have a program. And they can't complete your financial aid review unless you're in a degree. So in that case, we would have to fix it. Now, some of you may still see this, and that's because you might be in dual enrollment classes, and because they finish up just recently, they might not have closed out your degree. So you have two active degrees. Your one that you when you applied to the college, and one from high school. And the financial aid screen can't determine which is right, so you'll see no program when you have one. And then at that point, if you let me know, I email registration, and then they will close the dual enrollment program so that financial aid can continue. But in most cases, you'll see that something else is missing. And this does not happen to everybody. You can get selected for verification, federal verification, meaning they want additional documents, tax documents. And with COVID, they've been really lax with this. So you might not see this a lot, but you might need IRS tax transcripts, or you might not just have to fill out a certain form, and it'll tell you if it says team. I forgot what it says, team verification or team something here. That means you click on that link, it brings you to another site where you upload the documents that they're asking for, and you have to finish this to finish your financial aid review. So I'm going to go back to home, back to financial aid, and I'll keep talking about what you should see. All right. So once you've completed your documents, you'll see a check mark instead of this triangle with the yellow in there, and it'll say completed, and it'll go on to your application is being reviewed. And once that's done, that'll say completed with a check mark. And the last step is review and accept your financial aid award package. I'm not going to have one because I was missing documents, but you should see. And I forgot, I usually try to remember to put it up, but I'm in, let me see where I am. Am I in? Is everybody with me, by the way? Because I talk a lot.
Yeah,
You'll
we are.
You're here. I just want to make sure. At the end, I'll give you about a half hour, 25 minutes or so to ask questions. So don't worry. What I'm looking for is a screenshot of what you should see. And I have so many screenshots. Sometimes I wish I had it up. Or let's see, student portal. Holding. I want to show you what it looks like. Oh, it is Bergen verification team. That's the screenshot. It'll bring you to something like this, complete required documents, but that's not what I wanted to show you. I want to show you self-service portal. I want to show you the financial aid. Maybe if I put it in alphabetical order, I'll find it easier. What you should see, financial aid package is now ready. Hopefully this is it. This is what you want. Okay, so this will say at the top, your financial aid package is now ready. Okay, whether you get money or not, you may just be offered student loans. You must see this to know that your financial aid package is ready and that you're done. So as you see, those first three things I told you, complete required documents, your application is being reviewed, they're all completed with a check mark. Now you would click on review and accept your financial aid award package. If you're only offered loans, or if you're offered loans on top of other aid, okay, and you say, I don't want to borrow any loans, and you decline them, the next two things will go away. And I think there's three now. I think the screenshot is old. There may be three things. Once you decline the loans, these things will all go away and you're done. You'll see 4 completed, 4 green check marks, you're done. Okay. I would like to show you what it looks like if you get financial aid. Let me see. Check your status. I did PDFs a long time ago, but nobody ever looked at them, so I stopped I stopped updating them, but this isn't it. This is not it. I gotta close this. I'd like to show you because this is where everybody gets kind of stuck. Financial aid missing documents. No, it's not it. But the review to accept. How to forward you can forward your Bergen email to your personal email if you don't want to check 2 emails, but I can't stress how important it is to check your Bergen email because I'm one of the only people who will email you at both your personal and your Bergen because I want to make sure you get it. But okay, this is what it looks like. So now this is a person who only got New Jersey Stars and did not get financial aid because at the top it says NJ Stars. If you saw Pell Grant or New Jersey Tuition Aid Grant, New Jersey TAG is state aid, Pell Grant is federal aid, that means you got financial aid. If you got full financial aid and it covers your tuition, you won't see NJ Stars here at all because you're an unfunded STAR student. That just means that You applied for the STARS program. I certify you. And if you graduate within 5 semesters with a 3.25 or greater GPA, then you qualify for STARS 2 scholarships. But if you are not a star and complete this process, even if you don't get any STARS money, you can't get STARS 2 money. Down here are loans, subsidized and unsubsidized. Sometimes they'll offer you both, sometimes they'll offer you one or the other. I don't know how they do that, whether it's based on credit or household income, I don't know. But one of them pays the interest while you're in school until you graduate from college and go to work. The other one, the federal government pays the interest for you until I'm sorry. I think I said the same thing. One of them, the federal government pays the interest. The other one accumulates interest until you start working and paying it back. Okay, I'm not sure which one is which. If you decide you want to accept the loans, you complete those other steps that I showed you on that page where it had those other steps, and you sign a master promissory note saying you'll pay it back. And also you do entrance counseling where you do a budget. They explain what these loans are, which one is which. And if you want to borrow money, make sure you take the one that the government pays the interest so it's not increasing every day. If you don't want them and you decline them over here where it says accept or decline, that's New Jersey Stars. You accept or decline under the loans. If you decline them, the loans will go away and they'll go away on the main page and you're done. However, if later on you decide, oh, geez, I should have taken that money or should have taken some of the money for fees and books, you can always fill out a financial aid online form, and you go online to the financial aid forms page and it's on the bottom of the page. And right now it's not even there for next year, but it will be soon. And you would just it fills out the top for you. Every online form does. It fills out your name, your email address, your ID, student ID number, and you would fill out the bottom part that you want to increase the money, if you want to add it, or you want to cancel it. Well, you can fill out that form. But for now, I suggest not taking student loans if you don't need them. If you do take them, and this is really important, because I had students come to me when they graduated say, how come I owe $6,000? I thought this was free. It's because they took the student loans. They didn't use up all the money, but the bursar's office sent them a refund for whatever was left. So say you got 3,000 in loans and you only used 500 of it, they sent them 2,500. And if you didn't use it to pay back those loans, you owe that money. And I told the one girl, she called me several times. I kept saying, you got the refunds. What did you do with the money? She said, I put it in my savings account. I said, yeah, but that's money you borrowed. You have to pay that back to your student loans or you will always owe that. So just keep that in mind. If you do take student loans, make sure that if you get a refund, that's the money from the student loans. Now, if you don't take student loans and you get financial aid, you may get enough. Sometimes you'll get 3,000 from federal and 1,600 from state. So that's $4,600. And maybe your tuition and fees was 3,000. They'll send you back that $1,600. That you don't have to pay back if you have financial aid and you had enough to pay for everything. All right. This is all very confusing and nobody goes into this like I do. So this is important. Let me see what else. We go back to the student portal, back to financial aid. So I think that's it for financial aid. Oh, by the way, you won't see it on mine, but there is a little exclamation point here. That's a note for me to read. You'll see notifications, and I forgot what the symbol is, but that's where you'll see the New Jersey Stars protection. And I just recently changed the name from NJ Stars Student to NJ Stars Student Protection, because everybody would ask me when this protection drops off, they would write me and say, does that mean I'm not an NJ Stars student anymore? No. In November, when the protection ends for the fall, that'll drop off your notifications because it ends. And then in December, I put on protection for the spring semester, and then you'll see it come back up as a new notification. That will stay on until April. So I changed the name of it so you know specifically that notification is protection. The one notification that most new students, since I've been doing this new process with the waiving you from taking tests, that will show as a prospective NJ Star student, and it says that you are not required to take remedial classes and blah, blah, blah. And then the final notification from me will come the day after school's air drop week. And the air drop week is the week after school starts. That's the only time where you can add and drop classes without a problem and worrying about what might happen with your scholarship. And I'm going to go into that in a little while, but that hold I put on to prevent you from dropping classes and losing your scholarship. The only other time you're going to get a hold is if you don't pay your fees by a certain point. Now, I've protected you, so you don't have to pay tuition, but you do have to pay fees at some point. If you don't pay them by, say, October, I'm not sure when, the bursar sees that your fees aren't paid, they can't drop your classes because I've protected you, but they could put a hold on your account. And when they do that, they'll email you, and most students don't check their Bergen email. It's a shame, but that's how you learn that. And then what happens is when they go to register for classes, October 31st is spring registration on Halloween begins. If there's a hold on your account, you can't register for your new classes. And then everybody emails me, how come I can't register for classes? Is because you have a hold on my account? No, because my hold drops before that so that you can register for classes, but the bursars won't unless you pay your fees. Also, if you don't hand in your immunization document from the doctor saying what immunizations you've had, and by the way, you don't have to bring it in. You can have your doctor's office sign it and fax it to the health office here. The fax number is on top of the form that comes in your admissions packet when you apply to the college. If you don't get that done, they will email you to remind you, and if you still don't get it done, they will put a hold on your account. So always check your Bergen email, always do those other things. I can't show the notifications on mine because I can't put the protects on myself, but you should all see them, and it should look like I just got an email, and I think I closed my email. Darn it. Did I? I did. I'm going to open my email up so I can show you what you should see because it's important. Gmail. Okay, and I just changed this last week to New Jersey Stars Protection, and they sent me a screenshot so I can actually show you what it looks like. I have it under hold and here. And she sent me, here she is. So this is what it should look like. This is the notifications at the top. And this is a test. So there's all different notifications, but you'll see the NJ Star student protection. And it says your courses are protected as long as you've done everything that you're supposed to by the deadlines and you don't skip a semester without an approved leave of absence. Your contract must be signed by the NJ Star's representative. Read that. That's your protection. That will drop off if you don't sign your contract by August 31st. The prospective NJ Star student, right above it, that's just telling you the testing is not required unless you request it. And then the New Jersey Stars hold isn't, she didn't put that as a sample on here, so I can't show it to you, but that will come onto your student portal the day, probably around September 7th or so. I'll give you that date in a little while. All right. So let's go back to Firefox. HISA. I'm going to go on the HISA website and show you a little bit about what that should look like. Do I have two checklists open? Yeah. Okay, I'll do this. I'm going to go to the resource webpage, go down to the HISA, and click on the link. All right, and I'm going to go in as now. I got to remember my good. I remembered it. Okay. So, to-do list. This is one of the most important things. What you should see on here, make sure that it's on 2022-2023. And on the bottom under online, you should see a black box with a green check mark that says the FAFSA. That means they have your FAFSA and they're completing your state financial aid review. If you don't see a red box like up here underneath that black box, that means you don't know anything else. If you do see a red box without a check mark, it's incomplete. You need to do whatever it is that's after that. And again, they could be asking you to sign a form. If you own property other than the house that you live in, there's a schedule in the tax return that they would need to add, they sometimes ask for. Also, if you have a business, you're self-employed, there's another schedule they may ask to see. They might ask to see your IRS tax transcript or your parents. That would be in a red box here with the link to what you need, and then you would upload it to their website after you get the information. But if you see this, you should be done. I would always check later on in the summer to make sure that, because you never know if they find something they need and they put it here. But normally when you see this, you're done. Now this is mine because I did my FAFSA and I clicked on the state part at the end of the FAFSA. View and update your school. You want to make sure Bergen is on there. I am 3 classes away from finishing my bachelor's degree at Thomas Edison State University. I always put Bergen on just in case. If you don't see Bergen, you click add a school. Scroll down to Bergen Community College. You won't see it here because I already have it on my list. Okay, and then you would click add. It comes on automatically. Now, once you do that, you might not have seen money in your account on the page that I'm going to go to. And then all of a sudden it appears once they have Bergen on here and they see a state school. But when they see any state schools, you should see them, what money you would get for any of the schools. Edit your profile. You should always edit your information. If your name changes, if your email address changes, make sure you update your contact information because they will email you if there's anything is missing. This is just your regular contact information. The other one, I think their email address was on there too. But those are the bottom 2. Portal announcements, there's only been 2 since I've been doing this for 8 years. The first one was a COVID notice. The second one was something about the budget. This is important, notifications. Whenever they notify you that something is missing, you'll see most of mine is password changes because you have to change your password every couple of months. And you can see how long I've been doing this. So, but you will get notifications if your financial aid review is not complete and you're missing documents, or if it is now complete, they'll let you know in here. So this is important. I'm gonna go back to home. And this is for other online scholarships. There's one for 9/11 for families of victims of 9/11. There's a governor's scholarship. There's some different ones there. So the only other one, and this is one of the most important, is award and eligibility information. So the top part here are the icons that you may see on your portal. I'm going to go down and scroll down and show you in a minute. If you're incomplete, you're going to see exclamation marks all the way down the line for Bergen Community College and any other college in New Jersey that you applied to. The purple circle with the white star means that you're complete on their end, but it doesn't mean you're complete. So if you see this on your HISA website, this is really important because people don't know this. You may qualify for the Equal Opportunity Fund, an EOF scholarship grant rather. And if you do, you have to fill out a 1-page application at the college. It doesn't tell you that here. But when I see that on students' HISA portals, and I used to do workshops over the summer where you can come in and sit at a computer and I'd walk around and check everything for you, and then I would sign the contracts right there. But then with COVID, we put everything online, so I made online contracts and everything else. But I may still do that because so many people don't know where to check in their portal, how to check their bill or or anything. So, but that purple circle, if that's by the EOF, that means you just have to go into the EOF office, which is right around the corner from me. I'm in C111, they're in C100. And you would go in, fill out the 1-page paper. It's due by November 1st. And in the spring, I think it's March 1st. I think if you do it once in the beginning of the year, it's good for the year. And that's more money. And you can use that money for things that STARS doesn't pay for, like, for instance, summer classes or winter classes or audited classes. STARS won't pay for it, but EOF can, and other things. The yellow circle with the white ribbon just means that um, you qualified for the award, and that the award is an estimate. Once you see the green circle with the white dollar sign, that's the amount that was paid to the college. See, the X means you do not qualify for state aid. So now I'm going to show you mine. All right. Now, every year it's going to show last year. I think it only shows 2 or 3 years. 3? No, it goes all the way back. Wow. Okay. So it shows the colleges that you applied to. Now, sometimes you won't get money in your community college when you're in community college because the tuition is so much less. But based on your household income, if you go to a more expensive college, a four-year college that has a STARS 2 scholarship, and Thomas Edison is a state university, so it's about $350 a credit, something like that. That's about the same as Rutgers. Um, Bergen is 147 a credit, I think. It's going up in the fall, though. But some of the colleges could be $1,000 a credit, you know? So you may get financial aid for other colleges that you won't get for community college. However, it's a lot more money, and they're not going to pay all of it. They're going to pay part of it, and you're going to pay the rest. So you could see I don't qualify for anything. Now, if you put your cursor over the X, it says I'm ineligible, and it'll do that for any icon that you have. When you click on it, it'll tell you why. Now, I don't know why it's saying I don't meet college grade level requirements, because I've already have an associate's degree and I'm almost done with my bachelor's, and it says I don't meet the degree or certificate requirements. Maybe because I'm not enrolled in a degree at Bergen Community College. I don't know. But if you go to, now this one says the NJEI index exceeds the maximum amount for state grant programs. So I make too much. Student does not appear, and then this one says about the degree again. They all say different things. There's one that it says the NJEI index or something. They're all different. If you get the community college opportunity grant, that's for students who have their family has a household income of $65,000 or less. A couple of years ago, it was 45, but now it went up to 65. That means that if you got STARS would pay your tuition. Community college grant may pay your fees and books if you got that. Here's the equal opportunity grant I was telling you about. If you get the purple circle with the white star, make sure you fill out that form in the EOF office. And the tag is New Jersey Tuition Aid Grant. And that's the one that if you get this, see, this one says exceeds maximum amount for state grant programs. School did not certify by deadline date. So they'll always have different things here. I would click on everything just to read it. The tag New Jersey tag is state aid. If you get money in this category, you must do your FAFSA by April 15th. If you don't, you will not get your STARS or state aid in the next fall semester. And if you get everything done by, I think they'll pay the spring after that, though, as long as you've completed all your requirements. So that's HISA. That's really easy. The main thing you want to know on this website is the to-do list, that you just have the FAFSA with the green check mark, and then your award and eligibility tells you how much you're going to get. And again, that's an estimate. Oh, let me say one other thing. You don't see New Jersey STARS here because I'm not a STAR student, and it will say the whole name, New Jersey Student Tuition Award, Reward Scholarship, the whole name. I said it wrong, but it'll say it out here, and then there may be an estimated award. Now, you might not see it right away. The girl who does financial aid, in the beginning, I explained on the Bursar website. I'm sorry, on the on the main NJ STARS page, Charlemagne McKinney is the financial aid representative for Bergen Community College for New Jersey STARS. She puts in all the amounts for NJ STARS on the HISA website First, she starts with the current students and starts, if they're registered for classes and if they've done everything they're supposed to do with their FAFSA and everything for next year. She'll go in and she'll put an estimated award. Now, she may put, you have to have 12 credits, right? So she'll take 140, and this you'll get used to seeing these numbers. 147, it's around 147 calculator. And so for 12 credits, you may see 12 times 1, 4. Oh, sorry. I hate doing this on the computer. 147 times 12 credits. So you'll see about $1,764 here as an estimated award, whether you have 18 credits or 6 credits. Now, you won't be certified as a star unless you have 12. Unless you're in your final semester, you're allowed to be part-time. But as a new student, you have to, so however you might see that amount. And then as she goes through everybody and says, oh, okay, this student got $1,000 of financial aid, so STARS is going to pay 724, or they're going or the whole STARS was 1,800. She goes through each student and puts it in, and then when it's a green circle with the white dollar sign, you'll know it's been paid to the college, and that's usually November. And in the spring, it's usually around April. You might also not see it in your student portal right away because she has to put the estimated award in the college database. So you may not see it, but as long as I sign your contract and you're protected, and and as long as you've done everything that you were supposed to do, you'll get that money when the state pays us. Let me go back to the checklist. We're almost done with the checklist. So financial aid. Okay. Academic advising. This new student should visit the one stop or email advising4you@bergen.edu for assistance with your classes. Now, there's 3 ways of registering. You can go in to the college and go to the one stop. You can use the student portal in student planning. Let me see. Do I still have the student portal open? Yes. So student planning is, where is it? Here it is. And you can register on here, and I'm going to use the resources page again. One of the links, registration calendar and forms. And this page is important because you're going to get a lot of information here. First of all, on the bottom of the page, there's a remote registration form, so you can add and drop classes with that form, and they'll do it for you. All you have to do is go on, and like I said, if you've been on before, it'll say single sign, and if you've logged in already, and see how they put your name and your ID number and your email address. Always check your information, make sure it's right. And then you would say which semester you want to add or drop courses. Well, okay, so right now we have summer 1, summer U, and summer 2. I thought we had summer 3 too. I have to tell them it's missing from the form. And you would pick one, say, and then you would put the course, the code in, the title, the number of credits, and add. Or if you have a course that you're registered for and you want to drop it, drop. You sign, that transcript is for something different. The reason you're doing this, okay, these are the reasons why you would upload your form, and that's that. And then you would put any comments you wanted, and then you would click, I've read it, sign it, submit it. A copy of everything you sign will go in your student portal. And then they will get it in the registration department, and they will add or drop your classes. Make sure you get this form back. You could also check in your student portal that it was done by going onto your calendar, and it will be missing from your calendar, that particular class. I'm going to partly register for a class and show you what it looks like. And then, or you can just go into the one stop and see somebody in person. Now, what did I want to show you? I kind of go off on tangents sometimes. I'm going to close this. Let me log out. The registration. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the registration page. It'll let me. Okay. And so these are all different forms that you might need. If you need a transcript, duplicate diploma, whatever it is, these are the registration forms. On the bottom of, we're going to go to fall. Now, every semester, we have certain choices of classes you could take. So for the fall, we have fall 1, fall 2, flex 1, and flex 2. Same thing for summer. I think we have summer 2, summer 3, and summer U, which is the whole summer. And then spring, we have spring 1, spring 2, flex 1, and flex 2. So what that means is fall 1 is a full 15 weeks, starts on September 1st, ends on December 21st. Fall 2 starts a little bit later. It's a 12-week class. It ends right around the same time. Now, Flex 1 starts on September 1st when the fall 1 starts, but it ends in October. That's like a summer class. It's very intense. That means you're going to class 4 days a week usually, or if it's online, you're doing a lot more work, but you're done in 7 weeks. And same thing for Flex 2, but that one starts in late October, and that one ends the same day fall 1 ends. So those are our semesters, and every registration calendar will go through this for you. It's telling you that when you first have registration, usually it's no in person, it's only online for the first 2 weeks. This year was supposed to be April 1st. It's supposed to be April Fool's Day and Halloween every year. But last year and this year it was delayed 2 weeks. So we opened on April 15th, and then in person began on April 20th. This is the important, very important date. So registration changes. That means from now until the end of the add drop week, you can add or drop classes with no penalty. So you can keep changing all you want from now till, but after September 7th, if you drop a class and drop below 12 credits, you lose your STAR scholarship. Now, if it's your first semester, it won't be permanent because you can always start full time the next semester. But if it's your second, third, fourth, or fifth semester and you're not full time until your final semester when you're allowed to be part time, you will lose it permanently. All right. So you want to make sure that if you're going to drop classes, and it could be because you don't understand the teacher's accent, or you don't like it, the teacher, or you wanted a different class and you were registered in this one, but your other class that you wanted opens up, a seat opens up. So you grab that class and drop this class. That's fine. But once this date is passed, you can still withdraw up to December 1st, which is the next date underneath it. But that means that when you withdraw, you may not get your stars. So meaning that Charlemagne McKinney, who certifies you as a STAR student for payment online, okay, she certifies you, supposing she certifies you, she pays you on October 15th, and you drop the class on October 16th. Well, you were full-time when she certified you, so you're okay, your payment, the college will get paid for those classes. But if you drop the day before she certifies you and you're part-time, you lose your stars. Now, the other problem could be that you dropped a class and you had 15 credits and now you still have 12. You still qualify for the scholarship, but if you drop it early, you have to pay for that class that you dropped. So I put a hold on your account on September 8th to prevent you from dropping classes, and I usually end it October 30th, the day before registration begins, so that you can register for your spring classes. All right, but I put that hold on so you don't lose your STAR scholarship. Now, if you're having trouble with classes, everybody has problems sometimes, whether it's a personal problem or it's not your subject, or your teacher's giving, whatever the problem is, you were sick for a week and you missed some assignments, try to fix it. We have a tutoring center, we have a writing lab, we have a math lab, a lot of ways that you can get help. When I was in college and I started in 47, I was terrible in algebra, and I had to take 2 algebra A and algebra B, and I didn't remember it. I graduated high school 30 years before that. So I went to tutoring twice a week. You can go twice a week for free. And I got A's in both classes. And I also went for tutoring for statistics and for contemporary math. Math is not my thing. I got A's in all of them because I got help. Now, if you can't get help and you can't catch up, see a counselor. They might be able to do something. You can take a leave of absence if you really are lost and you have problems. You can go to the doctor and they can say you just weren't able to, you're not able to attend school this semester. With a doctor's note, we can put you out. You can start again the next semester. but you need to ask for help. You can't just assume and come at the end of the semester, or once the semester is over, you can't get the leave for that semester. It's too late. So you must be in the semester that you're asking the leave for before you request to drop, to go on a leave. So always ask before you drop a class. Some students will go to the registration window and they'll override my hold. And then the classes will get dropped and the students lose their scholarship. So please don't do that. All of these refunds are for people who pay for the money, the tuition up front. That's when you would get them back, which is not much time. They take that money. And then the bottom of this registration form always has the dates the college will be closed. So we would just close for July 4th. The next time is Labor Day. And then we have a faculty conference the day after Labor Day, and then Thanksgiving and winter break. That will always be on the bottom of these forms. They're really good to know. Let's see. Another thing I'd like to show you is this one-stop page. If you go to the one stop, they have it broken down by admissions, registration, bursar, and financial aid. And there's all different links. If you're having a problem with the bill, look here on the under the bursar, deadlines, or whatever it is that you need. Financial aid, registration, admissions. And here's the registration calendar too, but I have that all on my registration, on my resources webpage. Versus office fee deadlines, and I mean, I try to have, here's a link to the student portal and email help and student portal self-service help. The self-service help is really good to know because there are videos telling you how to do things, and there are 3 ways to register for classes: using a timeline, using your progress, and using search and add. I'm going to show you the search and add one. Okay, when you see a class on your calendar in yellow, you're not registered. Okay, that's just that you picked that class, but you need to go over here on the left side and click register, and then it'll turn green. If it's yellow, you're not registered. Okay, and when you drop a class, you want to make sure it comes off your calendar on your portal too. Let's see. All right, now it's 3:30. Oh my God, I did a lot of talking. I wanted to go over a couple. I didn't even go. Wow. I didn't even talk about honors or PTK yet. Let's do honors and PTK. Then I'm going to go over one other thing. So honors. If you want to take honors from the first semester, you can. You have to meet the requirements. So I'm gonna say, oh, I had honors on my resource page. Honors. And let's say honors. Okay. So Judith K. Wynn School of Honors. So that's the where you would take your honors classes. If you get 18 credits or more in honors classes, you qualify for an honors diploma. You get a gold seal, honors seal on your diploma, and it looks better when you go to the four-year college. They will be listed on your transcript as honors classes. Some people have trouble getting on 18 credits because they may be in like a nursing degree where most of the classes are nursing, and there's a few other classes scattered in, but there's not enough for them to get an honors. You can take honors by contract. But they'll do that just if you say you have 13 credits and you need 6 more, 12 credits and you need 6 more, or 15 credits, you need 3 more, they'll do it, but they won't do it for all, obviously. If you want to take honors the first semester you're here, you click apply to the Judith K. Wynn School of Honors, and you click this blue link. Okay, you'll see another online form. Your name and everything will be at the top. You click the semester that you're going to start and your current student status, incoming freshman, if you're transferring here, whatever it is. And then you would click, you need a 600 or higher on both your English or math on your SATs to be able to take honors courses. Or 25 on your ACT scores for both English and math. And now if you come close, say you got 590 in one and 575, well, not 570, 591 and 595 in the other one. Put in the comments on the bottom, recommended by Kathy Crosstack, New Jersey Star student. And they'll see that you're a star student and they'll know that you're going to be an above average student, and lots of times they'll admit you into the program. Now and then you sign and submit the form. Now let me just say, quickly that I took honors classes when I was 47, never took honors in my life. I was not a serious student in high school. My first class, I told the teacher I was going to drop the class. He told me, don't, you have life experience, don't drop it, you'll be fine. And I was, and not only was I fine, I loved it. The honors courses are small, the classes are smaller, the students are serious, they want to learn, and the professors love to teach them because the students want to learn. You get more conversations out of the box kind of things than you do in other classes. And the curriculum is the same as a regular class. Students are afraid to take honors because they think the honors classes are going to be harder. But if you're an NJ Star student, what put it this way, the professors expect two things. They expect honors work, and they give you an extra assignment from a regular class. So they may give you a one-page paper or a quiz, something a little, just distinguish it from a regular class. But the whole curriculum is the same as a regular class. But they expect honors work, and New Jersey Star students are already doing honors work, the majority. A couple of kids come to school, college, and they goof off a little, but most NJ Star students don't do that. So you will see that you're doing honors work anyway, and the classes are not harder. I love them. If you don't take them the first semester, try it the second semester. You would just need to have 12 credits or more with a 3 point, let's see, 12 credits or more with 3.4 GPA or higher to be able to take honors in the second semester. All right. Now I'm going to really quickly, if anybody doesn't know what breadcrumbs are, it's this line over here of where you go to back up. So I'm going to go to the regular honors, and you'll see, along with Judith K. Wayne School of Honors, there's other things here. So Alpha Mu Gamma, Phi Theta, Phi Psi Beta, and Sigma Chi Eta are our honors societies for psychology, communication, and foreign languages. But the most important one is Phi Theta Kappa. Phi Theta Kappa is the oldest, largest, most prestigious honor society, international honor society in 13 nations. And we were number one college in 13 nations in 2019. We're always in the top 50 or top whatever, very high up. But our college was number one in the world in 2019. So this is a great college. These two students on the video for Phi Theta Kappa, they're both NJ Star students. As a NJ Stars, as a Phi Theta Kappa student, you get a gold seal on your diploma. If you graduate, if you keep your grades up, you will be invited to join after the first semester. If your GPA is, I think, 3.8 or higher. I was 4.0 my first semester, so I got a letter. You get inducted into the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. Don't listen to emails from other honor societies because they'll try to get you to join. You want Phi Theta Kappa because our chapter of Phi Theta Kappa is Alpha Epsilon Phi. And these are our officers on the bottom. Hannah Garcia, I believe, is a star student. Leslie Yakai is a star student. So star students are always on boards for student government, Phi Theta Kappa, and honors. There is students who are in Phi Theta Kappa have access to over $87 million in scholarships that other students who do not have access to, and up to 37 million in exclusive transfer scholarships. You also get different discounts on different things, car insurance for, I think Geico gives you 10% off, and different things. Also, they have workshops to help you get other scholarships. There's one that's called the Jack Kent Cook Scholarship that's available every year between 60 and 100 students. This year it was 100, last year was 70, I think. And in the United States, of 540 community colleges, the Jack Kent Cook Scholarship goes to, out of 540 colleges, they give out, say, 60 to 100 scholarships. Last year, we had 8 in New Jersey, or 6, I think, and 4 of them were at Bergen Community College. So out of the 70, whatever it was last year, 4 were Bergen Community College, and 2 of those were NJ Star students. And those students got $40,000 a year to go to the 4-year college. Stars doesn't pay a lot for Stars 2. It's $1,250 a semester for 4 semesters, so that's $5,000 extra dollars you would get. But if you get the Jack Kent Cook scholarship, and that you have to do things to get it, there's community service and everything. But that went up this year to $55,000, and one of our star students got it this year. $55,000 a year. And this girl here on the right, Natasha Pineros, she got it. So I think I've had 6 NJ Star students get it in the 8 years that I've been doing this. So that's that's Phi Theta Kappa and honors. And let's see. The last thing I want to give you guys a chance to ask questions. So I want to go over degrees. So does anybody here have any AP courses that they took that they're going to be sending the grades in? If anybody does, speak up, because I can give you a little sample of how you know what is going to come off your diploma. Hello?
I do.
Okay, what did you take?
I took AP Spanish.
Okay, so you would go to at the top of the screen. You can't, the screen is gone when you go into the smart catalog. So you would go to the top of the screen, click academics. Then you would click catalogs, the third one down, and then put advanced placement here and search. And then you would click on the top link where it says AP, and you would look to see. So now, do you know what grade you got? What score?
I got a 4.
So with a 4, you would be exempt from language 113, 230, 231, and 232. If you don't know what that is, you can go down to courses. What did I say? 112, 113, 230. You go down here to on the left-hand side to courses, and then you could look under languages, I believe it is, or languages and cultures, and then you would look under the Spanish. 113 it was. So you'd be exempt from Spanish 1. Was it 230? I forgot already. 230, Spanish 2, intermediate Spanish 1, intermediate. So you'd be exempt from 4 of them. Now, you don't usually take 4 humanities, but I'm going to show you a little bit about that real quick. Anybody else with an AP that they want to check? All right. So
I
what
took
I'm gonna
AP Lang.
which one?
I took AP Lang.
The language and composition?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's on the bottom here. Language and composition, if you got a 3, 4, or 5 score, you're exempt from WRT 101. WRT 101 and 201 are 2 of the classes that almost every student in the college has to take. 101 and 201. If you took literature and composition, you would have got exempt from both. And then the other thing that everybody has to take is speech or public speaking. Now I'm going to quick show you a degree, and I'm going to open up. Let me just go back before I show you that. The last thing's on here. Once you register for classes and your financial aid is done, you can always get me your high school transcripts before the end of the summer. But then you should sign your contract. And I went over that. And you click on the contract. Here it is. And again, check the information on the top make sure it's correct, your address. Sometimes people put in the wrong zip code and it's the wrong town and you're out of county when you're not. Okay, read the contract, sign it, and submit it. And I kind of explained it already. We'll go to a counselor, they'll check it, they'll email you if there's a problem. If there isn't, they'll sign it. It'll come to me, I'll check it, I'll sign it, and that's it. When you get the last email that you're certified, then you would sign your scholarship maintenance agreement, which is down here. And you would read that and sign it. And basically, it just says you have to be continuous. I already told you that, full-time, except for your final semester. You have to be at 3.0 or above by the beginning of your 3rd semester. This is really important. If you're in May, when you get your spring grades, and you're 2.99, you won't qualify for the next year because you have to be 3.0 or above. So you would have to do something, take a class over. Maybe you got a D in a class, take it over, you get a better grade. It'll erase the bad grade and it'll raise your GPA. You'd have to go to a counselor to make sure that you were doing the right thing to get it up over 3. I've also seen students who were at 3.1. They took a summer class and failed it. They lost their stars because they dropped down to below 3.0 and there was no time to fix it. So they lost their stars. So if you're going to take a summer class, keep that in mind, that first summer before. That's the only time they check your GPA, at the end of the beginning of your second year. And when you graduate, to qualify for stars 2, you have to be 3.25 or above. Must do your financial aid every year, federal and state, and make sure both reviews are completed. Pay your fees, and there's some information about when you should go to a counselor. You sign this and submit it after I sign your contract. And then the final things on the application process checklist: your tuition will be funded by the end of the semester. Please don't email me and say that your tuition wasn't paid yet. It tells you that here. Okay, I get those all the time. You should only pay fees, don't pay tuition. Stars will pay your tuition. Okay, partial payments cannot be paid online. That's a biggie. Everybody emails me. They tried paying their fees online and they couldn't. It tells you right here. You can't pay partial. You'd have to pay the whole tuition and fees. You don't want to do that. So you must pay it at the bursar's office in the one stop. And the last thing on here, to get your student ID, you print a copy of your registration pay statement, which is your bill, in self-service, and it splits it between the, by the way, there, between your tuition and fees, so you know what your fees are. And you bring that to registration statement with you to the public safety office, and they will take your picture. It takes 5 minutes or less. Once school starts, there's usually long lines. I would try to do it before school starts if you can. Also, if you're coming in to get your student ID, fill out your parking decal request form. If you're going to drive to college, you need a sticker on your car. You fill this out with your plate number, your year, your make, your model, color, all of that of your car. So sign and submit it. And they will send you an email when it's ready, tell you to pick it up in B10, I don't remember the number, but it's right around the corner from public safety. And you could come in, pick up your parking permit, and go to the public safety office and get your student ID, and you're done with everything. All right. You don't need that to do your contract. That's just for your help. Really quickly, let me show you with the bill, and then I'm going to show you what a degree looks like. I went a little bit overboard this time. So you would go to student finance is your bill. Okay. You pick the semester that you're, now I took a class towards my bachelor's degree that I was able to take at the community college, and you would click on the semester. So you would click on fall 2022 and view statement. This is your registration statement or your bill. Okay. So it will tell you this is your tuition and this is your fees. Okay. Your fees may change every time you add and drop classes. So if I were you, I would wait to pay your fees. If you're sure you're going to be in those classes, then pay your fees. But some fees are more for certain classes than they are for less. So you may add and drop a class and you may have less fees, or you may have more. So, you would have to pay if it's more, another payment. Scroll down, it will list all your classes here. I took an honors public speaking. I had already taken honors speech, but they said if I took the public speaking, it would count towards my bachelor, so I took that here too. They'll list all your classes and it'll show you when it is. That was an online class because it was during COVID. And on the bottom, it will tell you what the fees are, how much for each. All right. In here under payments, if you got financial aid, it'll say it. If you have financial aid and before they use that before stars, okay, you must be in 12 credits in your degree. You can't take a class that's out of your degree because you won't be considered full-time student for financial aid. And then you will not only not get full financial aid, you won't get the stars either if you qualify for stars, partial financial aid and partial stars. So always make sure that your classes are in your degree, unless you only have stars, in which case stars pays up to 18 credits, even if it's not in your degree. Now, I really want to show you this before I take questions. I'm going to go back to, do I have it open? Okay. I'm going to pick a degree. Anybody want me to use their degree as a sample? If not, I'll just pick one. I'm going to go to academic programs. And here we go. We have the Associates of Arts, Associates of Science, Associates of Fine Arts, Associates of Applied Science, which are the career degrees, not the college degrees. And I'm going to pick professional studies, and I'll pick criminal justice. So all of these are the same. They're going to tell you all this information. If you open it from the bottom up, each of these arrow drop downs, you don't have to scroll at the same time. And it's going to show you how much you would have to take if you want to finish in 2 years. Some students finish in less, and some use the whole 5 semesters, which case you can take 12 a semester. Okay, so a degree like this, you're going to have 4 or 5 criminal justice classes, which are the ones that begin with CRJ. You're going to have your mandatory WRT 101 and 201. And at the top here, either your COM 101, COM 100, or COM 102. Those are speech and public speaking. All the rest of them are humanities. This is why it's so important to go to a community college, because you would have to do the same thing in a 4-year college, only you're paying a heck of a lot more. So these are all general education requirements, and you would pick what you want to take. Now, some degrees will recommend a social science elective take either psychology 101 or sociology 101. Some of them won't, and you can just pick one, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to open this up again. Here's the catalog. Oh, I'm in admissions, not academic stuff. Okay, so I'm going to show you where you find the general education. So it's under academic programs where the degrees are, but you look on the left and you want to click general education requirements. And bottom one, courses approved for general education. So these are the classes that you pick from for the degree. So here, on criminal justice degree, it says free elective, you can take anything. They recommend IST 123. That is a college experience. Let me see. If you click on it, it tells you college success class. Most of you don't need that, okay? But some people take it anyway. Recommended, I would take a free elective that I was going to really enjoy, something that I would, you could take anything, okay? So now let's see, natural science elective. So we're going to go back to that, this page here where the course is approved for general education and natural science. You would scroll down to natural sciences, and they are biology, chemistry, and physics. You can pick among any of these. All right. If you need 2 natural sciences, then you would take 2. I took environmental biology because you don't have to dissect, and I took people plant biology, I think it was. And we grew plants and walked around the campus and looked at trees and flowers and stuff. People plant relationships. Those are not dissecting, but you still get the 4 credits for each. He was one of my favorite honors classes, Intro to Environmental Biology. He teaches it every spring, and his name is Robert Dill, and I love him. Okay. If your degree says you need in the humanities, and most of them do, and some need more than 1, 2, or 3 even. And for the girl who said she had a language, Spanish, she was exempt from 4 Spanishes. Okay. They won't let you usually use all of them in one area. So I'm going to show you that. So where you see a humanities elective, in this case, they recommend history 111 or history 112. And again, you can click on it. It'll tell you what it is. Let's see. So there should be more humanities. Usually there's at least one. Here's another one. They also recommend for criminal justice, philosophy and religion, one of those classes. So you would go to here, and under humanities, there are 5 sections. There's arts and media, history, literature, philosophy and religion, and world languages and cultures. All right. Usually you can't pick more than 2 from any one area. But the girl who has the AP score for Spanish, you might be able to use one of them for your free elective. So you get another 3 credits that you don't have to take. You would pick from here. That criminal justice said pick one from philosophy and religion. You can pick any of them, or you can pick what you want. It recommends that. Okay, and then there's also social sciences. That's anthropology, economics, geography, political science, psychology, and sociology. Those are. Now, we have other classes under anthropology and geography and all of these things, but they won't go into your degree because if it's a general education requirement, you have to pick from here. If it's a free elective, you can take anything. And also NJ Stars will pay if it's out of your degree, if you really want a different class. Another thing you need to know is at the bottom, they'll usually give you information. Always check to see if there's any stars or crosses and look at the bottom and see what it says about it. I had something else in my mind that I wanted to show you, but I forgot. Let's see. Oh, every degree is, I'd say 98% of them is 60 credits to get your degree. So if you look at the bottom, it'll say total credit hours 60. So if you have 3 credits for AP and you have a dual enrollment, all of that comes off of that 60. All right. So you want to use as many of those Spanish as you can to get to use up some of your 60 credits, depending on what degree you're in. The last thing I'm going to show you real quick is how to look, what to look for when you I'm going to close some of this. When you register for classes, so I'm going to go to student planning, and then I'm going to give you, I'm going to probably have to go over a few minutes, but student planning, where is it? I'm not seeing it. Why? Am I cracking up here? Planning, oh, some places it's called student planning, other places it's plan and register. Don't ask me why they don't have consistent things. All right, so we're going to go to plan and schedule. No, we don't want to use plan and schedule. Well, we can. Okay. So I'm going to look up WRT 101 because that everybody needs. We'll look that up. Now, because we're still in summer 3, I'm not sure if it's going to bring up summer classes or fall classes. If it brings up summer, we're going to have to click on fall on the terms on the left-hand side. And it is bringing up spring classes, January to May. So I'm going to click on fall. And then I'm going to click on. So what you do is once you put in that WRT 101, you view available sections for WRT 101. Section is the last part of the I'll explain that in a second. So WRT is the type of class. It's English Comp. 101 is a level. 201 obviously is a higher level. And oh, by the way, on that degree, I forgot to mention, you don't have to take them in the order that they have it, as long as you take the lower levels first, because you need to take the prerequisites first. If anybody has to take has in their degree pre-calc or chemistry 100, that's not in the degree, but you need to take it to take calculus or chemistry, college chemistry. We have a free class in the summer. Ask me about it another time. It's called the Running Start program, and I didn't get the schedule yet, but it's usually the last 2 weeks in August, and you can go for free for 3 days, and they'll go over the tests. It's intermediate algebra, pre-calc, and chemistry 100. And then the 4th day you take the test. If you pass it, you go right into the calc or the college chemistry or whatever. And you also don't have to pay for it, and you get the 3 credits as well. Now, the last 3 numbers are your section, and the letter explains what the class is. And N is for English, non-English speaking students, so you don't want to take any of those. A1, I'm not sure what it is. I've just started noticing them. HY is hybrid. That means it's 1 day a week in class, and in this case, it's Tuesdays from 8 to 9:15. And always make sure it's September 1st if you want to start all your classes in fall 1, because it will tell you here September 20 whatever for fall 2. Some students register and don't realize that they won't start till later. Hybrid means the rest of it's online. Use 1 day a week in school. H is honors. LY is Lyndhurst. We have a campus in Meadowlands. I'm not sure what LS is either. That's another new one. But I wanted to show you they're all hybrids. I'm looking and WEB, I think, is online courses. They don't show on your calendar because they don't have. Okay, here's a Lyndhurst one, and they usually start later, and it does. Lyndhurst classes mostly start in fall 2, and that's September 21st. So you got to always watch that. Another thing to watch for when you register is, for instance, this class is on Wednesday and Friday. It's in S352 on Wednesday, but it's in S250 on Friday. So always when you register, check where the classes are so you go to the right classroom. The instructors, it'll tell you who the instructor is. I'm going to show you really quickly. Oh gosh, nothing's ever quick with me. RateMyProfessors.com. I still use this for Thomas Edison State University. I must have done it wrong. RateMyProfessors.com, and I'm going to show you what you want to look for when you register for a class. So I'm going to put in Bergen Community College. It usually will come up for you, and I'm going to put in Robert Dill. He was one of my favorite professors. Now, of 169 ratings, now you may see somebody with a 5, but there's only 3 ratings, so you don't really know if they're really a good professor. Most of them are good, especially all the honors professors and the full-time faculty. But some of them are adjunct professors who may teach one class at Bergen and another one at Ramapo and another one at William Patterson, and they're not fully vested in the college, and they may not be as interested in this college. And there's not a lot of them, but it could happen. You want professors that are like this. 97% of 169 people would take him again. 4.8 is his number after 169 people, and they give you ads, unfortunately. And you can read what people say about him. And his level of difficulty from 1 to 5 is 2, which is not difficult. You don't want to take somebody who's got a 3 and he's 5 level of difficulty and only 50% would take again. So you want to, and if you click on him, it should give you all his information. 154 gave him awesome out of 169. Okay, he's great. And then the people will tell you, this is a really good website. I check every class still to this day. RateMyProfessors.com. There's more I can talk about, but I went over, so let's take questions. And I'm sorry, I did do a lot extra talking today. So anybody would like to ask questions about classes, financial aid, the college? We have tons of clubs. I was the president of the environmental club, and I was president of the honors association. So there's a lot to do. You can be involved in student government. You would go to all of the meetings with the president, not all, but a lot of the meetings with the president and board of trustees. Genesis, you have a question?
Yes. So one of the classes I want to take is at nighttime, and I would be taking the bus to school, and the other classes are full. So is there any way that I could look if the professor has that class online?
Yeah, well, in the student planning of the portal, let me see. So you go here and you can look up by professor too. So let's see. So I'm going to go to plan and schedule. And then on the left-hand side, it still has the English comp up. So I'm going to take that out, remove. I didn't register to show you, but remember, yellow is not registered. You just have to click register once it's on your calendar. And why is it not showing me? Before it brought up, let me see. Schedule student planning, maybe? Let me go out and go back in. Student plan. Oh, see, here it says student planning, and the other place it says plan and register. No wonder you get confused. All right, go to plan and schedule. There should be the terms on the side, but it's filter sections there. It came up before and it's not giving it to me now. But there's a place where there's on that side, there's a place where you can pick the term, the days of the week. You could filter for honors classes. By the way, that's one thing I forgot to show you. Again, you can go on the honors website, or you can just go to my resources page and you could see all the honors classes. Excuse me. Honors courses. So for the fall, they're already up. Click right there. And you'll see that they have a little bit of everything: math and science, social science, writing and communications, humanities, and fall 2 courses. But I don't know why that's not working, because it showed me before and it's not letting me see it now. There's a place where you can filter sections. Any day of the week, anytime. Instructor. Now, it was on the left side. I know how to do it there, but I don't know how to do it here. There is a way. And also, don't forget, check all the time to see if there's anybody dropped out. I did forget to tell you that. Maybe you have to have a class up to be able to see the filters. Let me see. That's what it is. So you should be able to put an instructor in, show all instructors, and click on them. Do you know the instructor's name, any of them? And you can click on them and see if they're teaching any other classes. So that's you have to put the class in on the top to get all the filter results and pick, filter out. Also, let me just show you this. WRT 101, I'll just use that. I always use that. So when you scroll down, it's showing spring, not fall, but you could see if there's how many seats there are in the class and if there's any seats available in the class. So this class has 11 seats and there were eight available. I'm not sure if it's I have it backwards, but long story short, they are always opening up. And this week they're doing what's called a seat delete. They're dropping any students whose classes are not protected, who haven't made a payment, and they've been emailing them to please make a payment. And when they make those drops, classes will open up. So start looking. You might be able to get into a closed class. And that goes for right from now until the beginning of school, when school starts. Classes open and drop they open up all the time. Sometimes a professor will take an extra student if you email them and say, you really want this class, would they please, take you as an extra student? Or they also have a wait list sometimes. All right. Any other questions? Any questions about your bill, your fees, your
I had a question about the transferring AP credits. How would we do that? Would we do
Okay,
that?
you go on the College Board website. When you took the class, when you took the exam, if you put Bergen Community College on there, they would automatically send it. But if you didn't, you have to go on the College Board website and have it sent to Bergen. I don't know what the fee is. Nobody ever tells me. I always tell them to do it, but nobody ever gets back to me and tells me how much it is. I would say it would be a small fee. You would pay for I'm going to say $5, but I don't know. And then they would send it to Bergen Community College and they would put that in your portal so that you would be waived from, supposing it was Spanish 1, they would waive you from Spanish 1, and then you could take the next level class. So any of the AP classes work that way. Or if you're transferring them from another college too.
Okay, so would you say that it would be like better just to transfer any of like the AP like credits that we got? Like would all of them
Well,
be
if you don't transfer them, you don't get the credit for them. You won't get those credits. But you have to look on that list that I showed you to make sure that we take those credits, because most of them we do, but there are some like we have a certain type of history. If you took I don't know, I don't know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but you took one type of history and we offer world history, say, and you took a different kind of history, they might not take it. So the girl who handles that, her name is Melissa Flores. Her email address is transfer to BCC, transfer TOBCC@bergen.edu, and you can ask her those questions. You can send her an unofficial transcript or unofficial scores, and she'll let you know if it qualifies, and then you can send her the official ones.
Okay, and also, I saw that for NJ Stars, you can't pay for summer classes.
Stars doesn't pay for summer classes. I said that in the beginning. Stars pays for fall and spring. Does not pay for summer, winter, or audited courses. It also says that on the application process checklist and on the contract.
Also, I had one last question.
Go ahead, ask as many. That's why I'm here.
So for okay, so with the AP courses and dual enrollment that we took in high school, so since we would have like a certain amount of credits, would that mean that we could take other classes instead of like the core classes that we would be taking with the NJ Star?
Again, it depends on if you have full financial aid. If you have full financial aid, you have to have the classes that are in that degree. But sometimes, if you have another class that doesn't qualify for that degree, you can get them. And let me see. I'm going to go on my resources page, and I'm going to click on that registration link. Okay. And what were you asking me? I just got totally blanked out.
I
Oh,
was asking, yeah, what the credits and
yeah,
stuff,
I
like
know what
how would that work?
okay. See this adjustment of degree requirements form? I'm not a professor or a counselor, but I've filled these out for students before, but I'd rather not because it's not my responsibility. But you can get if you can talk to a counselor, they can fill this out for you and then they can have it substituted course. So say there's a required course, but you already took one that's similar, that doesn't fit into your degree, you can take a different course if you want to. But they or they might be able to substitute that particular course that you took for one that you don't want to take, but it has to be in the same area. Like for instance, like nursing, like music, say, you took this music class, but you want to take this, it has to be in the same area if they're gonna make a change. That's called the adjustment of degree requirements form. So there are things you can talk to them about. And I could look at your portal and see, but you really should speak to a counselor because the academic counselors, that's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to help you with that kind of thing. And you can go into the one stop and or you can email that email address I showed you on the application process checklist, advising for you or whatever that was. I can't remember the exact email address, but let me see. I can tell you in a second. If I go to resources, application process checklist, and it's advising number 4 you at bergen.edu. And you can email those questions to them. And if you don't get help through email, then I would go in and talk to somebody in person.
Wait, what was the email again?
Oh, it's advising number 4 you, the letter U at bergen.edu. It's over here under academic advising registration. It's the first bullet. New students should visit the one-stop center or email advising for you at bergen.edu for assistance.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other questions about your degree, about classes, about financial aid, the contract? And please, if you've got mostly everything done, sign your contract. And
I was
especially, what?
oh, oh sorry. I was wondering where do I check my progress if I was accepted as a NJ Star student?
Now, who's this?
Genesis?
You would have gotten a letter from me. That's why I was saying the first steps. That tells you all of that. Your high school is supposed to let you know. They're supposed to send a list to the state. If your name was on this list, you would have gotten a letter from HISA, and then I sent a postcard and a letter. Did you get anything?
I did get a postcard. Because I was checking my financial package and the NJ Star part of it did not come up yet for the money.
Genesis, what's your last name?
Garcia Caroa.
That's right. Okay. You qualify. I see I have your class rank and class size. So you didn't see the notification come up? When did you check?
I just checked recently and on my
Well, I
financial.
put it on last week, but it didn't go on until July 7th.
For the financial package?
No, you're asking me about protection, right?
No, I'm asking if I was asking about the for it coming up on my financial package because I didn't see it yet.
AJ Stars?
Yes.
I told you I went over all of that already. When I talked about the HISA webpage and I talked about the financial aid webpage, that you won't see that until Charlemagne, who does that, gets to it. She does the current students first and then the
Oh.
new students.
Oh,
Okay. And
okay.
then you'll get an estimated award first. And then she'll adjust that later after your class. She won't do it now because people are adding and dropping classes. If she puts down 1,700 and you should have gotten 2,800 or vice versa, then she's got to go back and fix it. So she puts an estimated for everybody, the same amount, and then she goes in and adjusts that as she pays people for the star
Oh, okay.
scholarships.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Charlemagne McKinney does that. She's on the main page of the website, which is NJ Stars. The first page, she's on the bottom here under financial aid. That's not her email address. Her email is, if you click on her name, it's cmckinney@bergen.edu. And or you could email financial aid, but they don't really answer a lot of NJ Stars questions, and they always send them to me instead of her. She's the one who pays the scholarships. I do everything else, but she pays it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So if you don't see it, I mean, first of all, did you sign your contract yet?
No,
Then
that's
she doesn't even know you're an NJ Star student.
Oh, okay.
Can't know that until you sign your contract, and I send her a list of the names, which I'm going to start doing because I just signed. I have about 10 people signed up already, but there's a ton of them that haven't signed their contracts. And until you sign your contract, she can't do her part, and I can't do my part.
Okay. Thank you.
So, is your financial aid complete?
Yes.
And did you register for 12 or more credits?
That's why I was wondering about the teacher because that's the
Oh, you're the one with the bus?
yes.
You had the bus question?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to have 12 credits. But what you can do is register for 12 credits and then drop the ones that you don't want and add the ones that you do as they come up just to sign your contract. But then you have to realize that if you're not in 12 credits when the school starts, that you won't get stars. So you have to be in 12.
Yeah, I'm currently at 9, so that's the only class that's
Oh, it's
re-
only one.
yeah, it's
Okay.
only one.
So what you could do is you could register for a similar class with a different teacher and then just drop it and add when the other one comes available or one that you can take.
Okay. Thank you.
And if it's not that, you might have to take a different class, not that particular class. If you're taking a Spanish, you might have to take a philosophy or whatever, just something else for this semester and take that class next semester.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Anybody else? No other questions? I don't even know who I have on anymore because I took off the names so that I can record this. So I'm not sure who's on with me, but um I'm gonna stop sharing for a second so I can at least see the okay, so I still have a lot of people on. Good. Um Nobody else? No other questions?
I paid for my classes already, but I don't know if I want to do honors classes, but if I do, can I change them still?
Oh, you could change them right up to the September 7th without any problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, up until the end of add drop week, you can add and drop. That's what airdrop week is. Because a lot of people are in classes all summer, but they really wanted to be in a certain class and they couldn't get in. And then when school starts, people don't pay, they drop out, or they take another class and drop that class, and then you can grab that class. So you see a lot of changes up until then. And I have to say, I got into almost every class that I ever wanted just by being patient and persistent and checking all the time. They always drop. Now the ones like Robert Dill is hard because people don't want to drop him. So you have to grab those classes at the beginning of the semester when you know who you want to take, you know. Did anybody ask me any questions? Because I wasn't checking the chat box. Okay. Two people asked about the recording. It looks like I saw somebody's name pop up once or twice, but I don't think the IT department is going to watch this whole thing to check it. So if anybody's name popped up, would you be upset? No, I just realized your names are going to be popping up here. I can end this. I don't have to put the end part on. If this is okay with everybody, I mean, I can post it tomorrow, and then just have to wait for IT to approve it, and it might be on by Friday.
Excuse me, I have a
Yes.
question.
Go ahead.
So if I'm just gonna be like right now, I'm gonna be a currently senior. How would I know if I am accepted as NJ stars? Like, would I
Who is
know
this?
that?
Is this
This is
Maria?
Maria. Yes.
Oh, that's why you didn't apply yet, because
Yes, it's just
you're
because I'm
senior in
just a
high.
senior.
All
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
the high school should tell you.
Okay.
They should tell you. I mean, they're supposed to tell you whether you're in the top 25% in your freshman and sophomore year, and then when you're in your junior year, they're supposed to let you know if you're in the top 15 at the end of the junior year. It's the final grades at the end of the junior year, and if they tell you you are in the top 15, then you qualify. If you aren't, you still have your whole senior year to get to the top 15, and the high school is the one to tell you.
Okay, perfect. And I have a question. If I am qualified for that, and then if I get your letter and everything, then by when is the time that I'm supposed to apply for the program?
You mean for next year?
Yeah.
You'll get a letter from me in February with all that information.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your
All right, you
information.
apply by when school starts. But I
Okay,
always ask
perfect.
that people apply before, sign the contract before that, because it's too busy for me to do it all at the end. So, I mean, right now I should have signed a lot more contracts already, but people aren't signing them. I can't do anything about it.
Got it. Thank you so much and have a great day.
You too. Anybody else? No other questions? I'll give you another minute to think, and then I'm gonna head out because I'm almost 20 minutes over.
I think it's only you and me.
Oh, okay. That's it then? You have no other questions?
No, I'm good. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Take care.